what I mean?
Did you ever go to that Filipino place, Lola's?
Lola's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it good?
It was good because I'm not a good person to ask. Because I'm very easy to please.
Yeah, okay.
Like...
Jazz, have you been there? Was it good? It wasn't good?
I mean?
Okay, yeah.
She's more of a critique where
Yeah.
I'm like, I will eat anything. She doesn't like her own mum's cooking.
What?
Don't do that.
That's
Okay.
crazy.
I quote, your mother said, she doesn't like my cooking. And I said, that's okay, Tita, I'll have it. Exactly.
To be fair, you would eat everything.
Yeah.
But I kind of get what you mean a little bit. Because there's certain things that my mum will make that I prefer not to eat. For example, like a traditional South African homemade meal is tin fish and rice. And it's like just literally tin fish, put some like curry powder and like fry it up in a pan. And my dad loves it. That's like one of his favorite meals, but I can never have it. I just don't like the texture. I don't like...
No, that's
stuff,
understandable
you know?
because I don't like all Filipino dishes.
Yeah.
I don't like all things that like my parents cook 100% of the time, but like I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
And if I'll give it like say 2 times and I'm like get the same reaction, I don't want it.
Yeah.
I won't eat it. But like majority of things I will eat. Even from other cultures from like different countries, I'll eat their food.
Yeah.
I'm very easy to please, which is probably why like when people say, is it good? I'll most likely say, yeah. If I say it's bad, I think it's terrible because of the fact that if you can't please me with something so simple, then it's shit. Like,
so you really don't need to put that much effort in for cooking for him.
Bro, you know what's so fire?
Yeah.
I'll eat this any day of the week.
What?
Either I'll have like garlic fried rice and like a fried egg, garlic fried rice and spam, garlic fried rice and juicy hot dog.
You know I've never had spam.
Really?
Never.
I like
spam.
it. She doesn't.
I've never had spam. I used to have polony, like polony sandwiches.
Yeah.
That we used to go crazy in primary school. Mum used to like slice it up, fry it, put it in buttered bread, barbecue sauce sometimes. That was good. That was a good struggle meal.
See, the thing is, I forced myself to have sandwiches at school because I was embarrassed to bring in like Filipino foods to school.
Yeah, primary school. I was like that a lot as well. Even start of high school, I never took like any like homemade food that my mum would make because it is foreign to them, bro. They're just gonna see it. They won't even smell it. They'll just see it and they'll be like, "What is that?"
Yeah.
Hey,
but keep tapped in. I'll be making a short film about that, so stay tuned. If I don't do it, come on, future Josh. What the fuck you doing? But anyway, yeah. I think being a kid at that age, you just don't know. Like, you don't know what to expect, the good and the bad, when bringing something like that home.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, bringing that to school, where you have those emotions bringing home, you kind of, like, suppress it. And you don't want to, like, have the same feelings of, like, oh, you get to the dinner table with your parents and, like, I don't want to bring rice and whatever we bring to school. Can I have a ham and cheese toasty sandwich, please?
Yeah.
Because it's socially accepted by the kids at school.
Yeah, that's actually crazy now that you put it like that.
Because I was probably one of many very, I'd say, the Asian girls over there, they got accepted because they're like, oh my god, that's so cool. The guys, no, they're ruthless.
Yeah.
The boys being ruthless. Like, parents don't know.
There was a decent time period. I would say maybe between like 2008 or 9 to about 2016, 17, where almost every school that had a group of white guys that were just blatantly racist. But for them, it was like, oh, we're just joking around, bro. Like, that's just how we play around. But when you look back at it, you realize their form of laughter was at your expense. And you probably felt this sometimes where you would sometimes laugh at some things that they would say.
Yeah.
And then you'd walk away and be like, why did I laugh at that?
No, I wouldn't question that. I was too dumb to realize.
Yeah.
But the one main thing was in school where I didn't like being called Blasian. But I think we're kind of cool now. But
do people call you Blasian?
Was that
because you could hoop?
No.
Oh.
It's because I was Asian, but my skin tone was dark. So from their perspective, they were like, oh, Asians are usually white. Why are you black? So, and that personally hurt my feelings. It's like, I'm not black.
I've heard a lot of different Filipino guys have very similar experiences.
Yeah. Because obviously, if you're Filipino, you're more better looking per se. As a kid, you wouldn't use the term handsome. You're more better looking if you're like lighter skin tone. And when I was darker as a kid and everyone was such a white, bro, you would not understand.
Oh yeah, that's
I was putting soap on my fucking arms and letting the soap suds like build up and hopefully that would lighten my skin tone and shit. I'd do that shit.
Yeah.
And I would have like my hair cut like all the white kids at the school and shit.
They like the side path with like heaps of gel in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to do that as well. It was only really like my second year of high school where I decided I'm just gonna let my hair grow out, and then like actual curls started to come out, and I was like, oh.
Sounds trying to be like you.
I just wear my hair like this. Yeah, you get there. Couple more appointments, you know.
No, but you know what I mean? Like, these are things you can't really teach kids.
No, you can't.
The kids have to go through themselves to actually fully understand. Because they, like, the smart kids can take it in and understand it, but they won't actually understand it unless they've been through that situation. You can't really tell someone's story and have them understand it just from there.
No, I get you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of kids and parents nowadays are so soft. Oh, protect him. Okay, cool. Protect him from getting hurt. Protect him from getting into fights.
Protect him from social media.
But there's only so much you can do. Like, because I got so many people at work that always are asking, like, "Oh, Josh, you know, you know, so and so is going through this. Like, what should I do?" The teachers, bro, they're a kid. Let them be a kid.
Yeah.
I understand you're worried and concerned, but let them be a kid. That's how I found out, you know.
Genuinely, I just blame social media, bro. And like, I'll put my hand up and say that I definitely got caught by that trap as well. When I was young, like, I never had a phone throughout primary school. Having a phone wasn't even really that big.
Yeah.
When we were in primary school. But then when I got to high school, like, everybody had a phone. Everybody had Snapchat. Everybody had Instagram. Everybody had Facebook. And I did feel left out. And then I had Snapchat. I convinced my dad. I was like, Dad, I need to get Snapchat to like keep in touch with my friends from primary school and stuff. And then I did do that for a little bit. But the biggest thing was Instagram. So everybody had Instagram. I actually got Instagram in like year 8. But my parents thought I only got it in like year 10.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I secretly just got
actually tracked you on that stuff. Like,
no, they didn't track me.
No, but like in a way they were monitoring what you were on.
Yeah, they just didn't want me on any kind of form of social media, and I understand it now because I would make sure that my kids don't have a phone or at least social media until they're like 15, 16. Even that is a little bit young as well.
Yeah.
But I get it because when I did get social media, I fell into the trap. I was always on my phone. We'd be out at dinner. I'd be on my phone. Like, there was a good 2-3 years where I was in that kind of headspace, and my whole life was just in that little screen. And you know what's funny is like my little sister, she's never been like that. She's a good 4 years younger than me, and she's never been like that. She's always been quite involved and never stuck in her phone. She also didn't have social media for a while, but she actually was kind of the one a couple times that told me, like, bro, like, you need to lay off that a little bit. You know what I mean?
Bro, your sister should have been the eldest, bro.
No, she definitely acts like it, for sure. But that's good, though. I feel like it's good to have that kind of dynamic sometimes. Like, obviously, sometimes I'm less like, bro, like, don't talk to me like that. I'm your older brother. You know, I'm supposed to tell you things. But she's very mature for her age. She's very wise.
That's cool.
I think that comes a lot with, like, how we were raised and stuff. But I probably would never give my child any kind of access to social media at any young age. Even like TV shows now, bro, like they're so stupid. TV shows that we used to watch when we were younger as well were kind of stupid as well. Like, if you look at some of the SpongeBob episodes, they were kind of stupid.
But you didn't understand it really.
You didn't understand it.
There's just colors and screens and characters that you just were attracted to the voices.
Yeah.
That's what kept you. But actually,
that's true.
You know, I was actually thinking about that the other day. Well, I mean, either yesterday or today, but I can't really remember.
Yeah.
This week's been a long week. But, like, when did you actually stop watching, like, cartoon shows and stuff like that? Like, I remember do you remember the days that you just wake up, like, 7:30 in the morning just to watch, like, cartoon shows?
Yeah, because it was on. And, like, we only watched like live TV. We didn't have streaming and stuff.
Yeah,
remember?
no, that's what I mean. Because like you can
Yeah.
go now and literally just pay a subscription to a streaming service and
Yeah.
watch whatever you want.
But that's
still.
why I made a face because I was like, I still watch cartoons.
No. But
Yeah.
I mean, like, get up
like
at
religiously, like
at a certain time, like
I
a
think
show's playing at
when
this
it's-
time.
I think to answer your question, when that stopped was when we got rid of Foxtel. So we had Foxtel.
See, I never had Foxtel.
We had Foxtel for a bit where we had like Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, and stuff like that. And I would literally like, I knew how to use that thing back to front. Like I knew how to save episodes, record episodes I was gonna miss and stuff like that. That's when I was like, Cartoon Network, I think, was the one channel that I was always watching. Ben 10 obviously was there.
You love your Ben 10.
Ben 10 is a go-to show.
I know you do.
iCarly, Victorious, those are all hood classics. Like I was watching all of those. So I would probably say maybe around 13, 14, I would say, was when I kind of stopped putting in the effort to go and watch those shows and like catch the next episode.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think life also just got naturally busy. I was playing like 3 different sports. I didn't really have time in the morning as well, going to
Your
school.
priorities were different.
Exactly, you know,
Yeah.
so. And that was also the time that like YouTube was popping off as well.
Oh yeah.
You know, so I think I think a lot of kids from our generation kind of transitioned from like those kind of
like live
TV shows
television
to
shows
YouTube, you know.
Yeah, but obviously, like back then, YouTube wasn't what it is today. Like YouTube was more of like a service that at the time no one really knew about as much. I think only started popping off from like I would say 2010 to 2015, because that's when a lot of the stuff was just whatever you could say or do anything and it would just be allowed.
That's
when
true.
everything now is a lot more softer and monetized on what you say and how you say it.
And I'll be honest, bro, like one of the only things that I think actually got me into watching YouTube was the Sidemen, mostly KSI.
Really?
I never was on YouTube like that until I started watching their videos, and then I was like, oh, these guys are really funny because they were very creative. You know what I mean? I think they're kind of like one of the first groups. I know there's probably other groups as well.
Yeah.
That started using YouTube for that specific kind of platform. And then obviously transitioned from Sidemen to Beta Squad, which personally, I think Beta Squad is way funnier than Sidemen. That may be controversial.
But for me, like I like Beta Squad more. Like just humor wise.
Yeah, same.
But I didn't know Sidemen until like late.
Oh, really?
I knew Sidemen because of KSI first.
Yeah.
I'd only watch KSI.
Yeah, same.
I was a KSI fan before I was a Sidemen fan.
Yeah, same.
But before that, I used to watch some quirky YouTubers before watching KSI.
Yeah.
I think
my YouTube like history before then would have been like parody songs.
Oh really?
Yeah,
I was
like-
talking about like mine would be skits and shit.
Oh, skits. Yeah.
I watched a lot of like it's kind
Yeah.
of embarrassed to say. Oh, actually no, they're like one of the first YouTubers I would say.
Yeah.
I started watching Smosh a lot.
I know you're talking about, but I never watched.
That's what I got hooked onto YouTube first.
Yeah.
And then I started watching like Ryan Higa and stuff like that.
Yes. Yeah.
What else? PewDiePie was crazy.
I never got into PewDiePie.
So I got into PewDiePie,
Yeah.
and then that's how I transitioned to KSI.
Yeah. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. Probably shows what my character is just by the people I follow.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
That's crazy. Yeah, so what's the time here?